Well, hello folks. I wanted to give you a quick video update on something that's very timely, very important to all of you, and that is midterm grades. They are due this week on Wednesday, and I've gone ahead and calculated them, but it may not be what you're expecting to see because of the way that I designed the syllabus. And a quick background review: if you've got your syllabus, you'll want to pull it out and look at what I'm talking about. If not, I'm going to try to describe it the best I can. We have, for the grading component of our class, 5 things that factor into the final grade. They are the weekly discussions. There are 11 of those at 10 points each for 110 points, but that is in the final grade worth 20% of the total. Then there are 3 topic leads. We are in the process of finishing up the second of the 3. Some of you have done 2, some of you have only done 1. Those of you who are leading the discussion this week have only done 1 of the 2. So I'm going to factor that into the grading, but there are 3 of those, 100 points each, 300 total points, but that 300 points gets weighted at 20% of the final. Then there are 12 video calls, 1 per week. Each one of those is worth up to 2 points. Remember, you get 2 points if you're on there and you're active. You get 1 point if you're on there but you're not active, or if you're unable to complete the call. And then you get no points if you don't call. So there are in all 12 of those, 2 points each. That's 24 points. And then I'm going to, trying to remember what I said I was going to do here. 2 of the grades will be dropped. So it's going to count for 20 points total, but that's only 10% of your final grade. Then the 4th component is the project, which we haven't even discussed yet. I'm going to tell you about in the next couple of weeks, probably right after spring break. That's worth 100 points, but that's 35% of your final grade. And then the final exam, which is a short essay, 100 points, and that is only 10% of your grade. Now, what I've got to figure out when I'm getting ready to post midterm grades is that since we don't have all of the pieces, we don't have all of the discussions, we don't have all of the topic leads, we don't have all of the video calls, we don't have the project, and we don't have the final, it doesn't make sense mathematically to apply those weights yet, because again, instead of having 100% of our total points, we've got probably about 40% of our total points. So what I've done to calculate midterm grades is simply this. For each of you, there are 7 discussion boards worth 10 points each. That's a total of 70 possible points. For 4 of you, there are 2 team leads worth 100 each, and for 2 of you, there's 1 team lead worth 100 points. Then for each of you, there are 7 video calls worth up to 2 points each, so that's a total of 14 perhaps. So 4 of you will have a possible 70 on discussions, 200 on team leads, and 14 on video calls. So that's a total possible 284. I've simply added up the number of points you've gotten out of that 284 potential points and created a percentage of that, and that's what I've reported as your midterm grade. So let's say, for example, that you got 200 points out of 284. That is about 70% or so, 69 or 70% perhaps, of the total points so far, so I'm going to report a C. If you've got a C out there for midterm, don't be too alarmed, because we still have to factor in the weighting of everything, and we've still got one really major part of the class, which is the project, which can change your grade very quickly, very dramatically. So that's 4 of you. The other 2 of you have 7 discussion boards, 1 team lead, and 7 video calls. So you have a total possible number of points at 184. And again, I've taken the points that you've gotten for each of those pieces, I've added them up, I've divided by 184 possible, and then that percentage is what I've reported for the midterm grade. As of the very moment that I'm recording this, I have not put them in RAIN yet, but I'm going to do that right after I finish recording this. So by the time you've watched this, you ought to be able to go out to RAIN and see where you stand right now. Again, remember that we're still missing the final, which is 10%, the project, which is 35%, so almost half the grade just in those 2 components. We also are missing some of the discussion boards and almost half of the video calls, plus at least 1, maybe 2 of the team leads. So your grade is probably going to go up from this point, especially after we've done the weighting. And also remember that there are 2 possible bonus points, and I did not factor that into this. I will add one or both of those in at the end of the semester when we've done the weighted grades. And so again, that is all said because there will probably be some of you who thought, well, are thinking, I really thought I was going to get a B at this point, and I've got a C out here. I thought I was going to have an A, and I've got a B out here. This is just a point in time, general frame of reference. This doesn't go on any transcripts. Nobody really looks at this thing. It's just a status point midway through that has some obvious faults and some limitations, and I'm going to work around those best I can. But again, don't be too alarmed. If you've got an A at midterm, don't get too excited because with the weighting, it could go down a little bit. If you've got a B, it could go up a little bit. It's just a point of reference. Hope that you're enjoying the class so far. You're getting something out of it, and we will very soon start talking about the final project, which is going to be a pretty big application-oriented thing that'll really round out the class, I think, and give you a great experience as you're moving into the real world of HR and what you're going to have to do on a day-to-day basis. Hope that makes sense. Email me if there's a question that is left unanswered in the process of this, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can.